What is up, and welcome back to another video on high altitude investing. Today we're going to be talking about whether Bitcoin and the crypto markets are dead. There is a lot of blood and a lot of fear in these markets, you guys. So let's address what's really going on from a technical perspective, as well as talking about what happens when the market does this. This is not the first time Bitcoin has looked like this. In fact, Bitcoin and the crypto space has looked like this many, many times. And since my trading journey when I started in 2016, I have seen this happen a lot. I got into Bitcoin in 2015, and this is really the same hat trick that I've seen pulled over and over again. So let's get straight into today's video. If you're not a subscriber to my channel, hit the subscribe button, as well as sharing these videos with your friends. And also there's a completely free Discord, so click the links in the description below to join that. I do have a VIP area in that Discord if you want more information and updates regularly on this market. You can go ahead and look into that as well. Without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. All right, you guys, Bitcoin is just completely dead. We better take all of our investments and sell them. We better pack up our bags and go home. Cryptocurrency is never coming back. And this is really just the beginning of the biggest bear market we've ever seen. We're going to drop another 90%, you guys. It's over. Where did my retirement funds go? Welcome to the psychology of the crowds. Most people right now are going to be extremely scared instead of the fact that you should be rejoicing and exciting over opportunity in these markets. So let's get into a little bit about what's going on in the charts and talk about why this is not new for Bitcoin. This is the same hat trick Bitcoin pulls every single time. Fear and blood in the streets is the name of the game on the downside, and complete euphoria and greed is the name of the game on the upside. This is exactly how Bitcoin has behaved since it was created. As this is still an expanded flat correction. We still have 5 waves up on Bitcoin, and then we have our A, B, and C wave. So we have an A wave down, a B wave all the way back up here, which looks like it's going to break out, looks like it's going to be super bullish. And then we get a very brutal C wave. We're already down 67% from this peak. Major support is 12% down. So if we wanted to talk about selling and taking profits, we should have been talking about taking profits November. And on altcoins, we should have been talking about taking profits last year in April. Right now is not the time to sell, to get out of this market. If you wanted to get out of this market, you should have been doing it before. And although this is not financial advice, you have to understand that selling inside of dips is exactly opposite of what professionals do in this market. So you guys, the fact that Bitcoin is seeing another low, a lower low here, is not anything crazy. In fact, the fear is getting intensified. And what happens when fear gets intensified? Opportunity increases. This actually is very, very similar to what we've seen happen in Bitcoin as it completed every single major drop it's ever done. There's always a violent drop down before the market sees a recovery. It does violent moves down, but it does even more violent moves up. And by the way, even though the corrections are brutal and big and shake nearly everybody out of the market that does not have the willpower to stay in, the bull markets are even bigger. And historically, they're even longer. So has my big picture view on Bitcoin changed in the slightest? Absolutely not. So I still hold true to the 5th wave coming inside of this market. People that are panic selling down here have no clue what's coming big picture in Bitcoin. So even on a day like this, when you go to coinmarketcap.com, you see Bitcoin 20% down, you see Ethereum 20% down, you see Binance 17% down. The emotional inclination is always going to be Maybe I should sell my crypto. It looks like crypto is just a fad or a phase. But ask yourself how many people thought the internet was a fad or a phase. You don't think it was a lot of people? Go back and study. There was newspapers. It was the common belief to think that the internet was some fad or a phase. It was really only the visionary thinkers. It was really only the people that set themselves apart from the crowds that took the internet and saw it for what it was. And a lot of those people were some of the people that came out the most financially as a result of their faith in developing and future technologies. I'm here to tell you guys that cryptocurrency is not going anywhere. Every single time that the public screams a bear market, every single time that the public says that it's dead, and every single time that they start to believe that it was a fad, is the exact moment that this entire market begins to turn around. So do not lose hope. Do not give up on this market. And do not let the crowds control your thinking. Set yourself apart from the crowds and prepare yourself and position yourself to make money in these markets. And that does take faith, that does take persistence, and that does take willingness to buy other people's fear. But I promise you, if you stick with it, if you do not give up, if you stay with this market and continue to accumulate other people's fear, you will look back on this day with gratitude instead of regret. And you will set yourself apart from the crowds, and you will be thankful and glad that you invested in this market. I know days like this can be extremely discouraging. You've made a lot of money in the past, you've experienced losses, but right now is not the day to be discouraged. Right now is the day to take advantage of other people's fear, of other people's delusion. Just like the bulls get delusional, the bears do too. And that's exactly what we're seeing in this market today. Guys, if I would have given up on the cryptocurrency markets, I never would have been able to travel all over America. I never would have been able to make the memories that I've made. I would have been left in the dust if I gave up on this market. And you will be left in the dust if you give up on this market. It truly does not matter how many voices are telling you that this technology is dead, that it's a fad, that it was gone and already done with. Bitcoin is just like the internet. It's here to stay. It's here to keep changing lives. Yes, we've been through a very intense Ethereum and Bitcoin correction, and we've been through a bear market on altcoins. To me, though, it's interesting that people are only calling for a bear market now that we've already been through one. When we look at coins like Dogecoin, we do see another lower low forming on the smaller time frames, but we also see major support being tested. It's very typical of an extended fifth wave like we saw right here to have an extended correction. That's what Dogecoin is doing. Now, whether you're going to sell your coins down here or not, I don't know. But I know I'm not selling one of my Dogecoin. If you want an honest view of this market, the best place to get that is the total market cap chart. This is the total currency market cap excluding Bitcoin. This is another prime example of us testing major support on these markets. We can also very clearly count inside of this market 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth wave. And just like Bitcoin and Ethereum, we have an expanded flat correction, A, B, and C wave. As we near the completion event of any correction, it's going to be violent. So today I would invite you guys to ask yourself, what do you really think this market is doing? Not saying you have to agree with me, and I'm not even saying that you have to listen to me, but I will ask you, please, genuinely ask yourselves, what do you think is going to happen in this market? Do you think that this is a bad time to invest or a good time? Please let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear you guys' opinions on this market as well. Thank you so much for staying clear to the very end of this video. I am accepting people into my mastermind program. This is the best program if you're interested in changing your life, how to be successful in these markets, how to avoid the fear of the crowds, and how to see beyond the masses. Inside of this program, you're going to learn the same tools that I have used over the past 7 years to master these markets. We invest in the bigger picture. We do not trade 5-minute, 15-minute inside of this group. This group is not designed for people who are looking to trade smaller time frames. What this group is designed for is to help people who are looking to invest in this market and change their lives over the long term. So you guys can look back in the future and realize that you took advantage of the cryptocurrency revolution. You did not let people convince you it was a passing fad. Instead, you applied the correct investment strategies to change your life in the big picture. So if you're ready to make some serious money in these markets, go ahead and apply for the mastermind program below. We can tune into our first session together this Saturday, in which you'll start to learn some of the basics of this market and really master investing in the cryptocurrency markets. So join my mastermind coaching program today, and I'll see you inside. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today's video. I love and appreciate every single one of you. I'm excited about these markets, and I look forward to the future. As always, stay profitable out there.